FBI Director Christopher Wray, he says President Trump is right on China. He says China is one of the biggest threats to the U.S. The FBI Director saying China is the worst when it comes to foreign espionage, and it is the worst when it comes to economic theft. The U.S. significantly underestimates this threat from China. China routinely violates intellectual property rules more than any other country. An annual estimated $600 billion hit to the U.S. economy. That comes in the form of theft of trade secrets, pirated software, and counterfeit goods. It's why China's industrial output now exceeds the United States. U.S. Trade Representative Ambassador Robert Lighthizer testifying, saying exactly that. Watch.
Our view is that we have a very serious problem of losing our intellectual property, which is really the biggest single advantage of the American economy. We are losing that to China in ways that are not reflective of the underlying economics.
Here with us is Gordon Chang. Gordon, your reaction to the tariffs?
Well, it's certainly necessary. You know, as that IP Commission report from Blair and Huntsman has shown, look, you know, the estimates of the loss from U.S. to China have increased. When they first put out that report in 2013, they were talking about $450 billion of annual loss. Now the sliding scale has gone up to perhaps $600 billion. So, you know, at some point, the United States needs to do something. I know the markets don't like this. They don't like uncertainty. They don't like disruptions. But nonetheless, you know, it's up to President Trump to protect the American economy, because if he doesn't do that, there's going to be very little left to our economy.
You know, the reality check, though, has bounced on what's going on here. China's per capita income numbers in the thousands of dollars annually. Its economy is very rickety. It's built on a lot of credit and debt. You know, here's the thing. It's almost like the U.S. has been a victim of, you know, economic Stockholm syndrome. We've been held captive to this idea about what's going on with China, that everything's okay with China. But, you know, Gordon, you've talked about this. Look at this. China not only copycatted the military jet fighters, the F-35 and the F-22, it also copycatted the Black Hawk helicopter, the Predator drone, even a type of thermonuclear warhead for submarine missiles. It stole all of that from the U.S.
Yeah. You know, and we should now start to call this the Shanghai syndrome. You know, really, we've got an issue here because we have tried to have cooperative relations with Beijing. We have tried to talk to the Chinese and try to enmesh them into a system of global trading rules. You know, President Obama stood with Xi Jinping in the Rose Garden, September 2015, and they both agreed that neither country would try to steal the commercial secrets of the others by cyber means. Well, you know, the Chinese have not abided by that at all. And what we've got right now is a situation where President Trump has no choice but to do what nobody really wants, and that's to impose great costs on China. You know, we're starting out at $60 billion. That figure is key to what we lose in joint ventures where the Chinese pressure American companies to give up technology. But that's only one of the ways that we are losing our IP. There's so many others. And, you know, we've got from 60 to 600 billion. We've got a long way to go.
Yeah, and you know what? No one can put I mean, 600 billion, we don't even know if that's the right number. Here's the thing. The FBI director says China sends spies to work at American companies to steal intellectual property. Is that true?
Yeah, well, it certainly is. You know, China does a number of different things. So, for instance, you know, just take students. You know, students go to universities, they mine the libraries, they go back. China has what's called this grains of sand approach, where they just try to gather everything they possibly can. They reassemble it in Beijing, and they figure out what's useful and what's not. We have an open society, so there's certain things we can't do to protect ourselves, but there are certain things that we can do, and we haven't been doing those because, you know, for many administrations, you couldn't say China and intellectual property theft in the same sentence and keep your job. Now, fortunately, we have a different attitude.
Yeah, I mean, you know, China says it's going to retaliate. You know, China does need us, and we need them. We need trade. Nobody is fatally naive here at this network to think that a tit-for-tat global trade war is good. The president is saying he's throwing down a marker. He's saying we're going to bargain. We're going to negotiate. This is concession time. A White House trade official, Peter Navarro, he too, though, he's saying talk, as you point out, Gordon, talk is not cheap with China. Watch.
This is a fundamental shift in American policy towards China after literally decades of economic dialogue. And, you know, talk is not cheap with the Chinese. It's actually been very expensive because while we've been talking with them since 2003, they've been robbing our technology blind.
You know, China threatening to retaliate. What do you make of that, Gordon? They're talking about hitting the Farm Belt with tariffs, which is Trump's voter base. We see Caterpillar and 3M and ADM to the downside, and you know, Bunge as well. What is your reaction to those farm stocks getting hit?
Well, you know, this is sort of understandable, but you got to remember, for instance, if American producers don't sell soybeans to China, and let's say they go to Brazil instead as a means of retaliation, well, then Brazil is not selling to its traditional customers. And so American producers will sell to the customers that Brazil was selling to. And it's the same thing with Boeing. You know, they could say in China, we're not going to buy Boeings because of this. So what do? They've got to buy Airbus. That means Airbus can't sell to other customers that Boeing will sell to. So, you know, I understand the way the markets look at this, but when you look at the reality, there's a lot less that China will actually do because of the way global markets work.
You're great, Gordon. We love having you on. Come back soon.